Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. TV streaming. We have some stuff to talk about. We're going to start really feeling this Warner Brothers Discovery merger in this section. All right, so our very first piece for this section is a follow-up on the Batman Caped Crusader animated series. If you remember, Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, and J.J. Abrams were all set to produce, with Reeves and Timm, I believe, also doing some sort of direction and or show running, but don't quote me on that part. Either way, it doesn't matter because it's not happening anymore. With the merger impending between Warner Brothers and Discovery, a lot of things are kind of getting cut and tossed to the wayside. And it seems that the bigger gambles, the things that they were kind of going to be testing the water to some degree, many of those things are getting cut. Not all of them, because Penguin is still going to be happening. We still have a couple of other DC Comics related things that are going to be happening. Not the least of which being, Harley Quinn, but that's going strong, so I don't see why they would cancel it. But this Batman Caped Crusader, being as there's nothing actually made for it yet, kind of made sense that they were going to cut it, considering they're cutting a lot of stuff going on right now. The Sesame Street being part of that, yeah, just a bunch of craziness. But there is kind of light at the end of the tunnel if you were hoping to see this Batman Caped Crusader animated series, and that is that they have announced that they're going to be shopping it around to other distributors. This is the weird part of this piece, is that who else can distribute Batman? Like, it's either Warner Brothers or nobody, right? That's how this works. So how are you going to shop around to other distribution or other publishers or whatever, when really it's a property that is owned by Warner Brothers, and as Warner Brothers says, you're not making this series, there's nothing else you can do, right? I don't know. If something else comes of that, we will definitely be talking about it, but I don't think it will, so we're just going to move on. We have one other follow-up for this section, and it has to do with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We did talk about this, I believe, when they were announcing that it was a thing that might happen, and that was kind of the last place we touched on it. Well, now it seems that Fox has officially indefinitely shelved the project of this new Buffy live-action series. For what seems like the potential that it was too woke. Honestly, like, that is all indicators point to maybe they were trying to do something that wasn't going to draw an audience, but was going to tell people exactly how virtuous they are. So yeah, that sounds like a good business decision. If that was your whole purpose of making this series, is to be like, hey, we have virtue too, but we have no quality entertainment. So yeah, quality entertainment, it looks to be on the rise, let's say. That is what we have on that one. Let's actually move into trailers next. We have Midnight Club, the next Mike Flanagan series, coming very soon. Go check out the new trailer for that. This one is, again, based on the Christopher Pike book of the same name from 1994. Looks like Flanagan. Honestly, it looks like it's going to be 100% worth a watch, so go check out that trailer. Link in the description. Next, we have Wednesday. The new Netflix Wednesday Addams series has a proper trailer that almost pulls it off. There are a couple of issues with this trailer, not gonna lie. Not the least of which being, what kind of weird-ass face is Luis Guzman making in that very sudden cut to him and Morticia, and then cut away. Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia looks fantastic, honestly. And the girl that they have playing Wednesday looks the part pretty well. There are a couple of shots in here where I think the makeup might have been a little too much, until you get to the end of the trailer, at which point you see Wednesday smile, and then I lose a bit more hope for this trailer, because Wednesday Addams does not smile. That is kind of the ongoing thing with Wednesday. That's why it was kind of a big deal in the Addams Family Values movie when she smiles at the play, because it frightens people, right? Because nobody's ever seen it before. So that kind of has me a little disheartened, but still holding a small modicum of hope that this will be a watchable series and Netflix can kind of get back to their redemption arc. That is what we have for trailers, though, this week. So let's talk now about regular-ass news. And first up on the docket, Superman and Lois is losing their young John Kent. Jonathan Kent actor... Sorry, my eyes are not adjusting. Jonathan Kent actor Jordan Elsass, I think that's how that's pronounced, is leaving for creative reasons. He wants to go do something else. He's done, 3 seasons now of Superman and Lois, and he's like 20-something, and now he's got whatever. Either way, the Warner Brothers has already announced that they're going to be recasting the role of Jonathan Kent, so maybe we won't notice. Maybe it'll be like Roseanne back in the day when they had to recast Darlene. Who knows? But that is what we've got for our first piece. Next, we're talking about the CW. So staying on that channel, because that's where Superman and Lois airs, the CW was kind of just sold. Not entirely. The controlling companies of the CW were Warner Brothers and Paramount, so they jointly had control of that channel. Warner Brothers Discovery thing going on like it is right now, it kind of made sense that they, again, started scaling things back. So they and Paramount agreed to share their majority shares, or to sell, rather, their majority shares to another company, Nexstar Media Group. Next Media is saying now that they're going to trim the fat from the CW. Warner Brothers and Paramount do each still own 12.5% of the company. So that is going to be how they continue these shows that have these Warner Brothers created icons and things in there, like Superman and Lois. So this is going to continue, but the new CEO that is in charge of things over at Nexstar Media, as far as this goes, is saying that they're going to target the actual audience and not the hopeful audience. So the people who actually watch the CW are people who were in their late 40s and their 50s, and not teenagers who they've been marketing for basically the entire time the CW has existed. So it's going to be a very interesting couple of years to see how this evolution comes about, because they want to be profitable. They said that this has been an unprofitable venture for many years. They have been operating at a loss for many years. So the entire broadcast channel is losing money every year, and they're just now starting to do something, whatever. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly they deem as money makeable, if that's a way to put that. So we will be keeping tabs on this, and you can come back here to, hear more about it as things change and evolve. It's not going to be every episode. But that's what we've got on that. And then our final piece for TV streaming is a viewer/listener request. This one, I really couldn't get a whole lot, and I do apologize. This was requested by Christopher Ortiz, regular viewer and participator with the show. He asked me to look into the new Jurassic World series. There is going to be a new Jurassic World series. It is going to Netflix. It is not the kid-oriented, from what I can tell. It is not directly related to the kid-oriented Camp Cretaceous that has already run for a number of seasons on Netflix. This is going to be a new series, presumably geared more towards young adults, perhaps, that is also going to be animated, and that is all I was able to find. It is going to be an animated series on Netflix that is not geared towards young children. So as more comes out about this, we will be keeping tabs on it as well. That is the end of the regular-ass news for TV streaming. So TV streaming suggestions. Our suggestion this time is an old one, and this is one that I think needs to get a little bit more attention these days, because it kind of set up the first 2 seasons of it at least, set up a bar of quality that we've been trying to maintain ever since. Specifically, what I am referring to is Heroes, season 1 and 2 very specifically, because after season 2 it kind of went a little crazy and then it got canceled. So Heroes season 1 and 2 from a few years ago, this is what kind of got this entertainment ball rolling. The reason season 2 was cut rather short because of the writer's strike back in like 2004 or whatever, 2003. And then the rest of the series suffered, but those first 2 seasons were so good, and now that kind of paved the way for this quality television the era that we live in now, that I think it deserves some respect. So go check out Heroes season 1 and 2 for this week's TV streaming suggestion. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.